We do have some questions, though. I think, Jen, what do we got?
All right. So the first question that came in is, do you have a standard template for the pitch deck you feel is good to use?
I'll field this super quick. Yes, we do have a standard template, but big caveat. If you go to Sequoia, they want their decks a certain way. If you go to A16Z, they want their decks a certain way. How do I know? We talk to them. Like, we've literally heard from the associates, this is the way that we want our decks, and they're different because that's just how it works. So it's going to be your job to find a general idea of what investors like. And there's so many different formats that we use. For example, Sequoia really likes the problem solution market size format. Other investors like, I want a purpose statement. I want an overarching sort of like a one sentence executive summary. And so founders get all upset with us and say, you told us to do this. And I go, we have just given you tools. You have to decide. It just so happens, Sequoia being the biggest game in town, we happen to use, everybody kind of likes to use their thing because we follow the patterns. So we do have templates, and we can't give them to you. If you're part of Startups.com, just ask us. I'll send you a template with a general guidance in terms of what you should put in your deck, but it's a general rule of thumb. It's not set in stone, and it's going to be up to you to decide what works best for you, tell the story, and we can go from there. Ryan, how do you pick what slides go into your deck?
Let me bounce off that. So that's gonna depend highly on the evidence and the audience that I'm gonna go pitch, right? So that depends on who I'm gonna go talk to. To your point, different people are going to want to see it different ways. Rather than a template, what I like is a framework for communicating, right? I'm not trying to split hairs or mince words here, but if you think about like how we deliver our pitch deck perfection or the pitch deck bootcamp, what we have is an exercise to help you clarify the key points that need to be communicated. Temperature around the slide, in my opinion, can be very dangerous because then people start to try to plug in rather than think through. They're like, how do I make my stuff fit this? That's not actually the exercise, nor is having one template versus another. The exercise is, there are a number of things, including the problem, the solution, how it works, the market size, the team, the traction, all of these things, regardless of the order in which they appear, whether it's 12, 14, 16 slides, there are a number of things that as a founder, you have to know how to clearly communicate. Regardless of the template that you're going to use, if you nail that part of the exercise, applying it to whatever template whoever wants to see becomes very, very simple. And so I think this is what we've done a really good job at Startups.com, coaching people through the exercise of understanding what needs to be conveyed. Then you can decide whether it goes on a Post-it, a postcard, a long form letter, a billboard. The medium matters a lot less, i.e. the template in this case matters a lot less than your ability to understand what needs to be said and why it needs to be communicated in that way. That's where I want founders to focus. If you're thinking, I need a template to do this, you're looking for a shortcut to a problem that doesn't exist. You're looking for a shortcut to quickly finishing a deck that probably nobody's going to want to read because you didn't go through the painful exercise of learning what and how to communicate these critical points.
Couldn't have said it better myself. In other words, don't download Uber's pitch deck and swap out your logos and numbers.
Find and replace. Go. Right?
Okay.
Yep.